Hello, everybody on the internet. Five for Talking bonus episode. We're going to do some fun new things this time. I'm here with Caps again. Not a guest, but I'm going to call him a guest, special guest Caps. We're going to jump into this. We're just going to do some fun stuff here. I'm going to ask some questions, get Caps' opinion on some things, and then get a little bit of mine too. So we're going to jump in quick, couple Leafs ones. Give me your thoughts on, it could be career as a Leaf, anything, Doug Gilmour.
An intricate part of that early 90s Leaf team to bring them to the Final Four, potentially a Stanley Cup winner. Definitely made them a Stanley Cup contender in those two runs, 92, 93, 93, 94. Definitely a talent that was kind of wasted in Calgary, maybe St. Louis.
Definitely in St. Louis.
No. I could see why he wanted out in Calgary, because there's just too many guys there that were just too good.
That team was stacked.
It was stacked. But hell of a trade. And probably will go down as one of the greatest Leafs.
Yeah, I agree. Quick thoughts from me. I think as a career, I know the ending of it tapered off, especially after leaving the Leafs, is kind of where it all slowly started to go down. I wouldn't say immediately or anything, but he was sort of towards the end of his career. Definitely gets overlooked in the argument of greatest players. I mean, he's definitely seen as recognized by the NHL and the Leafs and that Calgary team as a special player. But I think if you go broad audience NHL, he kind of gets overlooked. I guarantee you there's a lot of people, especially nowadays, younger fans that are not Leaf fans, might not even know who Doug Gilmour is. And that's kind of sad. I mean, he definitely belongs in that talk. His career was amazing. And it was not because of who he played with. He was great on his own. Mm-hmm. Am I wrong?
You were not wrong. I would have to check back, but I think he's one of maybe 3 or 4 Leafs that ever got like 100 points in the season.
Yeah, I think there wasn't many. Him and Sundin.
I don't even think Sundin got a
Sundin has. I'm pretty sure Sundin got one. I will look it
up.
Not
as a Leaf. As a Quebec Nordique, yes.
Okay, hold
on. So I can think about it. If I can go back right now, for sure, off the top of my head, Daryl Siller is one, and Doug Gilmour is another. And I don't think there's any other Leafs that got 100 points in one season.
You are correct. The most he got with the Leafs was 94 points in 96, 97. And that team featured Doug Gilmour, Wendell Clark. Well, I think that's not the year of the trade. Did Wendell Clark come back already at that point?
What year was it?
96, 97.
I believe Wendell Clark was back.
Yeah, so he spent 2 seasons gone, right? One on the Islanders and or 2 on Quebec and half on the Islanders. I don't know. Either way, you are correct. I stand corrected. So he's only one of like 2 Leafs ever, I think, to get 100 points.
Yeah, off the top of my head. I could be wrong, but off the top of my head,
let us know in the comments if we're wrong. I know we kind of went through this in other episodes, but give me your thoughts on Wendell Clark at post greatness. So not even post greatness. Let's talk about Wendell Clark after he got traded. And at this point, he wasn't very old. What do you think was the downfall of Wendell Clark's career?
When he first got traded?
From the point when he left Toronto.
I think because he was so enamored of being a Leaf that and had such a close connection with the fans, and the type of player that he is and the type of dedication that he had for the organization. I think he was truly heartbroken when they traded him to Quebec. And I don't think his career was the same after that. I mean, you could tell. I know he was injury ridden and all that stuff, but even when he was brought back to the Leafs, you could see that fire, make a bit of a resurgence.
And he came back to the Leafs 3 times, right?
I believe twice after he was traded. Twice.
Yeah, so he played 3 times as a Leaf.
Yes.
And Doug Gilmour played twice as a Leaf. Because Doug Gilmour came back for like 2 games and then got injured.
Half a game.
Well, the game that was when we had Ron Francis, I think.
Probably. I don't remember that. But he was brought back and he played the first game back, and that's when he got injured.
I don't have this as one of my questions, but knowing what happened after, and this is not saying that it's because he was bad, but he did end up getting very injured. He had a lot of injury problems and this, that, and the other thing, and his career was slowly coming down, even without the injuries. I don't think it was coming down as hard without the injuries. I think he would have lasted longer. But in the long run, was the trade for Sundin the right trade?
Yes.
Okay. I have to agree. And I'm happy. I don't need a big answer on that. A lot of times talking with you about it, you're always bitter about that, and I understand it. But I think in the long run, it was the right thing to do. And that team that they had with Sundin was better than with Clark. Not later. Immediately, I think that team was already better with Sundin.
But they never found the kind of success
they had
with Wendell.
They never had the leadership of Wendell, which is what I will give that. That's fair, right? I feel like without his leadership, if you took that team with Wendell Clark on it, there's a lot different of a story. And it might have rubbed off better on... I know Doug Gilmour definitely rubbed off a little bit on Sundin, especially in the leadership role. I think having Clark there a little bit more might have helped. Anyways, let's move on. Staying with the Leafs. Give me your thoughts on my favorite goalie of all time, Felix Potvin.
Definitely a person that came out of nowhere. I didn't know anything about this guy until Grant Fuhr left and you were pushing Felix Potvin.
Darren Pupa. Don't forget about Darren Pupa.
Yeah, but he was a backup, so he never played a lot. But initially, I thought it was the wrong move.
I agree.
I got scared. But he played well for those few years. But the thing with Felix Potvin is he just, as quickly as he came, he quickly just kind of faded away.
You know what? I'll give you that, and I won't, because it felt like
he never had any impact in any other team that he went to.
No, your thought is correct and wrong, and I'm going to explain why. It wasn't as short as it actually felt, but it did feel like he came and he went very fast. When you look at it, it was about 5-6 seasons of Potvin, and when he was great, he was great. And I'm not going to give him credit at all for inventing the style or anything, but he took Patrick Waugh's influence of the butterfly style, and he brought a kind of new aspect to it, where you had Brodeur, that at that era, Brodeur was still a little bit more stand-up-y, and Potvin was kind of too. Waugh had this whole new style, and then you had Hasek that was flopping around. You had Ed Belfour that was playing completely his own game. And then you had Curtis Joseph that was also more like a Brodeur, that was kind of a hybrid of stand-up and butterfly. But towards the later part of his career, like right before he left Toronto, so at this point, he's not the same goalie that he was when we had the cup runs and stuff. But he his gameplay was so different. It was so wild, and like he mastered that butterfly and his equipment. And I just think that in Toronto, he's a special guy. He'll never be remembered for anything anywhere else, but I think that here he was special.
Do I consider him one of the greatest Leafs? No.
Do you consider him one of the greatest Leaf goalies?
No.
Not at all.
No.
Not even top 5. Okay, no, wait. That's a hard question because I don't think top 5 either.
Off the top of my head, Cujo's 1, Belfour's 1, Johnny Bower's 1. I would put Frederik Andersen in front of him.
Terry Sawchuk.
Terry Sawchuk's another one.
And easily the best Leaf goalie of all time is Turk Broda. And
yeah. So
that's already
you're already at 6.
Yeah. Okay. For me, unwillingly, I think you go not in order. Johnny Bower.
There's no particular order. You can't
order.
go in
Johnny Bower. There is one order. Number 1 is Turk Broda. Then.
But you're basing that off of stats because you've never seen him play.
But I don't need to see him play to know what he did.
Okay.
And his numbers are almost unbeatable as a Leaf. Turk Broda, Johnny Bower, Curtis Joseph.
Ed Belfour.
I'm not putting Ed Belfour. Frederik Andersen already. I think that he belongs in that argument. You know what? I'm gonna say Felix Potvin.
No, I don't agree.
He went to the quarterfinals and should have been in the finals. He should have won the cup. Should have, could have won. Ed Belfour didn't. Ed Belfour is great. Ed Belfour's Ed Belfour. I don't want to argue about Ed Belfour because I love him so much. I don't want to argue about Ed Belfour.
I'm just trying to remember, but
his 3 seasons or 4 seasons as a Leaf is not going to destroy what Felix Potvin accomplished.
Yeah, I mean, we're entitled to our opinions. I just do not see Felix Potvin as one of the best.
Okay, but
goalies.
You 100% will say Felix Potvin was in the top 10.
I would have to really think about it.
Okay, I don't like you.
I would really have to think about it, but
that's fair. You know what?
I would say yes, probably top 10.
Okay.
Because there wasn't a lot of
long-standing Leaf goalies.
Yeah, there wasn't.
Especially from the 70s to the 90s, it was a revolving door of goalies.
Yeah.
So okay, we'll move on from that.
Who carried the load just before Frederik Andersen?
Vesa Toskala?
No, couldn't
James Reimer.
James Reimer. Okay.
And then Bernier, Toskala.
No, not Toskala. Come on, man.
No, but you're saying goalies that were starting goalies. I'm naming all the
No. But I'm saying Toskala was before Reimer and
it went Toskala, Bernier, I'm pretty sure.
No, Bernier came after Reimer.
Okay, anyways, cut it.
Because Bernier was here when Babcock was here.
I don't want to
listen. No, wait.
Okay,
Bernier was here when Babcock was here. Remember, because Babcock was critical of how Bernier played, and then
but Bernier was here before that.
He was not.
Okay, so let's see.
He was not. Reimer was here before Bernier.
Okay, I'm gonna go.
Hold on. Reimer was wait. Reimer was here before Bernier because Reimer was the goalie that took the Leafs to their first playoff run ever since 04-05.
I'm gonna go from Potvin and name all the starting goalies. Felix Potvin. Then you had Curtis Joseph. Then you had a weird mashup with Tom Barrasso and Telquist. And then you had Ed Belfour. Then you had Raycroft. Then you had Toskala. Then you had Gustafsson, Jaguar, and Reimer in one season. And then you had Bernier and then Andersen. basically, if you're going just
I told you.
starting. Yeah. Okay. Well, I was pretty close. I wasn't like far off. Anyways, let's move on to the next thing because you'll have opinions on this. 90s rivalry action here. I know one of these teams won more cups, but when you break down their roster and what they could have been if injuries never happened, Colorado Avalanche or Detroit Red Wings. All that those years, those late 90s, 2000, like the year 2000.
They were going back and forth, man. That's tough.
No injuries.
Like I said, they're going back and forth. That's tough. They were pretty healthy those years, but that's tough, man. That's too tough.
Okay, what team would you rather have played on?
Colorado.
Okay, that's fair. I'll take that because I would have said yeah, but that's just because I don't like Detroit.
Exactly.
Okay, so I have a couple Colorado questions, and you can, if you don't really know, that's fine. I want your thoughts on if the Colorado team of Stastny, O'Reilly, McKinnon, and Duchesne stayed together, was there ever a shot at a cup?
Did they ever play together?
I'm pretty sure McKinnon's rookie year, they were still there. Or they got traded. Sorry, there's potential that after he got drafted that year, Stastny got traded. But let's just say hypothetically, those four guys on a team, do they win a cup?
Sorry, who was the fourth? You said Stastny,
McKinnon,
Duchesne.
O'Reilly, Duchesne.
O'Reilly. I don't know.
Would you rather have a fully healthy Matt Sundin or the injury-prone career, so he can't be healthy, Peter Forsberg as the Leafs?
Sorry, you're asking me if I want the injury-prone Forsberg or the healthy Sundin?
Like, you can take Forsberg's entire career and put it on the Leafs as is, or have Sundin on the Leafs. And don't do this as I know because in the other video
wouldn't a better question be who would I prefer, healthy Forsberg or healthy Sundin?
No, because in their careers, I think if you do it that way, I think Forsberg is a better player. But I think this question makes it difficult because it's like, would you rather have the better talent and hope that while he was healthy, you had a shot at it, or would you rather stay the route and have the Leafs that we had?
I'd probably roll the dice on Forsberg because he got the job done.
I think that's fair, and that's a hard-hitting questions that I ask here on Guy for Talking News. Okay, so staying with Colorado, would you rather have so injuries, everything stays. Colorado from day one of Colorado with Steve Yzerman, or Detroit from '96 with Joe Sakic?
So they're swapping teams?
Yeah. But only from the very point when Colorado starts. Hard.
It would have been intriguing to see how Steve Yzerman plays with Forsberg.
I think it might have been special. Not to take away from Joe Sakic, because I think Detroit was so good that putting Joe Sakic there, they still might have been just as good because he did win 2 cups. So it's not like he's not good. But I think Steve Yzerman is special. Steve Yzerman on Colorado, I mean, the only thing is you have to take this how it is. They might have went back-to-back Colorado that year. But I don't think they win in 2001 with Yzerman because at that point Yzerman was no longer useful. But
Is that the year that he busted up his knee?
Yeah.
But then he was like supernatural, like he was playing like crazy.
I think that 96, 97 or 95, 96, 96, 97, I think Colorado might have three-peated with a healthy Steve Yzerman.
Maybe.
Okay. I'm going to jump off that. Pavel Bure. So all of these questions include their injury history. Pavel Bure, you're building a team. Pavel Bure or Sergei Fedorov?
Talent-wise, Pavel Bure. But in terms of reliability, Fedorov.
And I think Fedorov is super underrated what he brings to a team with his defensive ability.
Yeah,
people forget that he was one of the best defensive forwards.
Bure was unreliable. I remember
Yeah.
when he asked for the trade, and that was kind of
Okay, let's go a little American.
element of a bad teammate.
A lot of people might not know who this is, but I'm assuming that you're going to know who this was, hopefully. Phil Housley in his prime or Brian Leetch in his prime?
Leetch.
Easily?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I think that's fair. I do think Phil Housley is really good, but I feel like he benefited a lot from the teams that he played on. He did play on that Buffalo Sabres team that was like mental.
Yeah, but Leetch won a cup.
McInnes or Niedermeyer? That's a hard question.
Scott Niedermayer.
I was just about to say that I have to say Scott Niedermayer. Yeah. I think McInnes would have been a player you bring in to complement Niedermayer. McInnes was a complementary defenseman. He wasn't a bad as a defenseman. He could hit and play defense, but his offensive ability was really good, and he had that shot. But he needed
Scott Niedermayer is the cornerstone of your team.
Yes, exactly. Okay, we're on the same page here. Mike Modano. Okay, don't think of this statistically. Think of this as the player that they are. Mike Modano or Brett Hall? I'll go first.
I'm going to have to stick statistically.
So I'm going to go first, though. I think that as a leader on both ends of the ice, he could play defense and offense. He could still put up 100 points if he really wanted to. He proved it by winning a cup. I think Mike Modano. I'd rather have Mike Modano. And
Modano won a cup with Detroit, right?
And Dallas.
Oh, that's right. He was on the 99. Was he?
And he was a good leader. I don't think Brett Hall was ever a leader, in my opinion. Yes, he was. He was on that team. Joe Nieuwendyk, Lettinen, Langenbrunner. This is a hard question.
Yeah, but you do recall Brett Hall was on that team too, right?
I agree, but was Brett Hall the leader of that team, or did he play on the penalty kill?
Yeah, but I wouldn't make Brett Hall the leader of that team because Modano was
If you're building a team and you need a cornerstone player, are you thinking Mike Modano or Brett Hall?
Oh.
Who do you build around? I'm trying to make it hard.
Here's the thing. That team was stacked with
leadership.
Hold on. That team was stacked with leadership players. Correct me if I'm wrong. Wasn't Joe Nieuwendyk on the team?
Yeah, I said it. Joe Nieuwendyk.
You
also had Langenbrunner. You also had Zubov. You had a lot of leaders. I'm not taking away. But
Belfour on that team?
Yes, at Belfour.
Oh. Brett Hall.
Okay. I'm not here to argue with your decision. I'm here to tell you.
I don't think you'll ever see anybody score 86 goals.
Henrik Zetterberg or
handful of people.
Henrik Zetterberg or Daniel Alfredsson?
Zetterberg. I can't stand Alfredsson.
If I was building a team around a player, I would rather have Zetterberg. But if I was trying to find someone to come on my team and lead, I'd rather have Alfredsson. I know your opinions. I'm okay with it. Solani or Curry? I'm going Timo Solani. I think all around as a player, he was better. I think he was a much better player all around. And not to say Curry was bad. This is not what I mean. But if you put Curry on any team without Gretzky, his career does not have the same trajectory. He still has 100-point seasons and has a great career, but he doesn't end with 1,400 points or whatever he had.
Yep.
Okay, so I have one more question. If you have any, you can do it. Would you rather have Andreychuk, in his prime, and Doug Gilmour, or Mike Modano and Joe Nieuwendyk?
Gilmore Chuck.
You know what? This was super close for me. I think I might go the other way only because I'd rather have two centers than one line. But I thought about this. Like this is the only one of all these questions that I sent you that I really, really, really thought about.
Mm-hmm.
I
don't really have
ask me a question.
A valid point. I don't have any questions to ask you because
a question.
I can't because you never told me what this was going to be about.
I know this is what's fun. Just ask me a question. Any question.
Campbell's, I can't because I can't.
Just name me two players and I'll tell you who I like better. Oh, this is what I like to do. I love putting him on the spot. Any two players. Make it difficult for me. You can tell me two no-name players. Scott Stevens.
Korea or Solani?
Okay. I'll give you two outcomes. The careers that they had, Timo Solani. Without the injuries, Paul Kariya. I think Paul Kariya would have been a really, 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 really special player. And I think in the long run of Solani's career, if you take out that rookie season, he doesn't make his mark really on the NHL.
Okay.
What's your choice?
If he never got injured, probably Korea.
Yeah, I really, really think he was a special player. Okay, so would you rather have John LeClair or Vincent Damphousse?
How long are we on this video for?
This is my last question.
All right. I don't know. Probably John LeClair. I wasn't really too much of a fan of Damphousse.
I mean, that's fair. Anyways, that is all we have. People, thank you for watching. Caps, Campo, comment, like, subscribe. Let us know what you like. Let us know what you want to see. Thank you.